The Punisher was really my first window into the Marvel Universe. So I collected the Punisher as a kid. I just loved that he was a dude who was driven by vengeance and whose superhero power was that he had just a trunk full of guns and cool gadgets, you know what I mean? He was just like, he didn't have any kind of like ring that gave him power. He wasn't from a special planet. He was just badass. He was a badass vigilante with cool guns, and that was the guy who I always thought was cool. And that's what makes him, to me, an anti-hero, because you know, he's essentially a criminal.
Was he one of your first comic book loves? Or?
My very first comic book love, yeah, the Punisher.
Oh, brilliant. And now, you're playing a comic book hero yourself. So.
Now I play a comic book hero myself, yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. And the next one I had on the list that was very interesting is Django.
Yeah, Django. Yeah, he is, to me, I think anybody who's, you know, essentially doing criminal acts, but in order to advance their own story, and it, you know, is an anti-hero, I think. Maybe I have a misunderstanding, but yeah, Django's a great example. I mean, he's a guy who is just like straight up murdering people, and you know, he's fueled by vengeance, and
it's a good pattern here with it.
yeah, that I like that a lot.
Would you say it always helps that a good anti-hero has a good companion? So, for example, someone to riff off, and you have Christoph Waltz.
Yeah.
In that measure.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, man, they had such great chemistry. Yeah, definitely. Christoph Waltz and Jamie Foxx had great chemistry in that movie, and yeah, Django's a great anti-hero because like there's a moment where he gets on the horse where he has to just embody the role of, like, you know, the slave owner, or like, I don't know exactly what wouldn't dare to use the terminology that they used in the movie, but you know, he's essentially like has to represent all of the people who have enslaved him, and he just gets badass, and he just dude, Jamie Foxx is awesome in that movie.
Another badass character, Travis Bickle. What is it that drew you to liking this individual? Because he's got a lot of issues.
Yeah, he's got a lot of issues. His heart is in the right place, but his mind is somewhere else. Not that it's the wrong place, it's just off, you know? When he takes his date to a porn theater, and he just doesn't think that he doesn't understand why that would be weird, you know? I mean, he's a guy who comes back to New York after going through what he went through, and you can hear it in the voiceover through that whole movie. He's just disgusted by the filth of the streets, and you know, in his own way, he tries to clean them up by going and killing drug dealers and pimps towards the end, you know. That's just badass.
And Paul Schrader, it's very dark script, and the
dark.
De Niro connection. You've got a Godfather reference you'd like to, one of those guys?
Yeah, as an anti-hero, I mean, Michael Corleone, obviously. I think, like, you know, he's a man who put loyalty over morality. And to me, I think that's you know, you root for him. I think an anti-hero is someone who's doing something wrong, but you root for them anyways. And so, you know, Michael Corleone is like the head of the Corleone family.
Favorite scene, maybe, of the trilogy that you enjoyed him in most?
I guess probably when he kisses his brother and says, "I know it was you."
Intense.
That's it.
And there's another gangster on the list to finish it off, to round it off. It's Tony Soprano.
Tony Soprano, yeah. Oh man, yeah. Tony Soprano, the ultimate anti-hero. I love him so much. He's great. You understand, especially the way that series was told. I mean, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of hours of storytelling. And so you get to see not only Tony Soprano, but also his entire extended family. And you know, here's a guy who's dealing with being a crime boss, but also crippling anxiety at the same time, and seeing those two things play out. You know, another man who puts loyalty over morality. I think that's kind of what's sexy about the Italian crime families. You know, they're not just like dirty, trashy criminals. You know, there's something very sexy about.
I have a feeling you'd like to have a go at a role of a gangster, whether it's Italian America. I don't know. You can.
Yes,
pull it off.
the Norwegian crime syndicate. We have deep roots in the Norwegian and Finnish crime family.
Would you like to do a? Would you like to do
this barrel of fish fell off a boat and
Scandi Noir?
yeah.
Would you like to do something where you maybe took it to the next level, played like a Tony Soprano type character? Would that be?
I would love to play a vigilante. I think that would be awesome. I've been dying to play a character who's fueled by vengeance and, you know, payback. I love those types of movies. I mean, like the Dirty Harrys and the Death Wish and, you know, the Walking Talls, that kind of stuff is always really appealed to me. That's like my favorite kind of movie, is a guy who just goes and cleans up his town. Just don't, you know.
It's perfect, isn't it? It's a perfect formula.
I love it. It's perfect. It's perfect. It's totally formulaic and really works for me.
And we should say that your character now is an anti-hero of many sorts, and he's brilliant at what he does. And I can't wait to see more adventures with Star-Lord Peter Quill. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I hope
Cheers,
I hope
thank you
you
very
see
much.
more adventures. Thank you, man.